everyone, today's video is going to be about the Thoth deck. I'm going to be reading from the Book of Thoth, and then I will be reading from the Tarot Handbook. The Thoth deck is very different than the Rider-Waite, as many people know. A lot of people are put off by this deck because it's heavy, it's darker, there's a lot of stuff surrounding the deck, Aleister Crowley and whatnot. A lot of people believe you have to know the Tree of Life, Zodiac, planetary stuff, and it's just like, it's too much, it's overwhelming, and they're just like, I can't do it. I honestly struggled for a few months whether to get this deck or not, but of course, as usual, at the end of the day, I got it because, as I said in another video, I'm pretty much drawn to darker stuff. No matter how much I try not to be, I am. So I winded up getting it, and then I winded up getting this Book of Thoth right here to accompany it, which was recommended. Anyway, a lot of people will either not get it and stay away from it, or get it just to have it in their collection, just out of curiosity, but then realize they can't read with it, or it's too much, or whatever. And you get something like the Book of Thoth here, and seriously, I did try to read it. There's a lot of stuff in the beginning, Tree of Life and all that. I consider myself well-read, you know. I love learning and stuff, but this is seriously, like, no joke. It's pretty complicated. You'll find yourself coming across words you can't even pronounce. And I once read, if you're reading a paragraph and you read a word that you don't understand, the whole paragraph becomes incomprehensible. And that's very true. Either you will catch yourself rereading the same sentence over and over because your brain is trying to tell you you don't get it, or you will just like dispose of it, meaning 5 minutes after you read it, you didn't retain anything, you can't remember anything. So since I know that, I stop, I Google, I stop, I Google, and if you do that, it just becomes like you're filled with dread, like I'm never going to be able to read this deck, or it's going to take me like years before I can read it. And then I found this book, and it just made everything so great. So what I want you to do, if you have, I'm not going to like show the cards because you can find like images of the cards all over the place online. It's like just as popular as the Rider-Waite. But what I would like you to do is get the Empress card. If you actually have your deck, get it. If not, Google it online or whatever and find the picture real quick so that you can look at it as I'm reading so you can see. So zoom in on that there real quick. Okay. Now I'm going to start with the Book of Thoth. This is very complicated, and I'm going to ask you to forgive me in advance because there's probably going to be words that I do not pronounce well at all. I'm probably going to sound like an idiot. It's not because I can't read, but I'm just not familiar with a lot of stuff in this book. Okay, so the Empress, okay, from this book. This card is attributed to the letter Deleth or Daleth, whatever, which means a door, and it refers to the planet Venus. This card is, on the face of it, the complement of the Emperor, but her attributions are much more universal. On the Tree of Life, Daleth is the path leading from Chakma to Binah, uniting the father with the mother. Daleth is one of the 3 paths which are altogether above the abyss. There's furthermore the alchemical symbol of Venus, the only one of the planetary symbols which comprises all the Sephirith of the Tree of Life. The doctrine implied is that the fundamental formula of the universe is love. The circle touches the Sephirith 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 3. The cross is formed by 6, 9, 10, and 7, and 8. It is impossible to summarize the meanings of the symbol of the woman for this very reason, that she continually recurs in infinitely varied form. Okay, I'm just going to stop there because some of you are probably already bored and snoozing. And I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Right there, I would have to have stopped just to figure out some of those things there. Okay, now, the Tarot Handbook, Practical Applications of Ancient Visual Symbols. I love this book. It uses the tarot, and it kind of takes out the heaviness and the darkness to the deck. And it makes it really understandable and, relatable. Okay, so let's focus on this Empress card, and I will read this as fast as I can. The Empress is the principle of love with wisdom. She is a symbol of humankind's ability to extend love and to receive love. The Greeks referred to the symbol as Demeter, the Earth Mother. Mythically, this archetype is also seen as Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, and creative power. In psychology, she is the anima, the feminine nature. Behind the Empress, the moon shines through the veils that falls from her crown. The moon is the Western symbol for feminine, magnetic nature. She is the goddess principle, or what the Orientals would refer to as the power of yin energy. The Empress holds the blue lotus blossom of wisdom as a reminder that when we approach life from an attitude of love combined with wisdom, we will resist the need to overgive or push to make things happen emotionally, nor will we protect or hold ourselves back emotionally. The Empress represents the trusting, balanced heart rather than the controlling, protective heart. She gives an equal proportion to her capacity to receive and is as comfortable in receiving love as she is in extending love. In her right hand, she holds the lotus blossom with its 4 points, which indicate her capacity to give mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually as appropriate. And she holds her left arm in a curved position as a symbol of her willingness to receive that which is extended toward her in a loving and wise way. The Empress illustrates the healing power of love that is nurturing, comforting, and supportive. She reminds us that love with wisdom is the capacity to nurture and support ourselves in equal proportion to how we nurture and support others. The large crystalline bubbles touching each other on the card represent the unity of mind and heart. This is the only symbol in the deck which shows heart and mind having equal balance and proportion. Another way that the Empress symbolizes the unity and strength of heart and mind is in the color of her burgundy robe in depth of emotional expression, combined with all the birds which represent the mental realms of consciousness. Cross-culturally, birds are seen as spiritual messengers in the majority of myths. Birds are creatures of the air, and in alchemy, birds and air are associated with the mind, or the mental realms of consciousness. Birds represent spiritual messages that have been cognized or born into conscious awareness. The Empress faces the dove or kiwi bird. Both are prophetic birds, or birds that remind us that wisdom is within and remind us, therefore, to listen to inner guidance. She brings with her the precious memories of her past, the small sparrow or bluebird that sits on the back of her head. Her commitment to change and to become even more of who she is, represented by the swan with her 4 baby swans. The swan is a Western symbol for transformation. From the ugly duckling to the beautiful swan is a metaphor for transforming our own undeveloped hearts, the 4 baby swans, into awakened and expressive parts of who we are. The double phoenix on the Emperor's shield is the eastern bird that, like the western swan, is associated with change and transformation. The mythical double phoenix facing each other reminds us that we are simultaneously changing internally as well as externally. Universally, every winged creature is symbolic of spiritualization. The Empress reminds us through all the birds on the symbol that love with wisdom is the way in which we can practice as well as listen to our own divine natures within. Bumblebees are found on the robes of the Empress, Emperor, and Temperance symbols. They represent ways of seeing or varied forms of perception. According to the Greek Delphic tradition, the second of the temples built in Delphi was erected by bees to assist the oracular vision of the Delphic oracles. The globe in the Emperor's crown represents the ability to explore internal and external worlds with equal agility and personal confidence. The fleur-de-lis, the 3-petal flower located at the bottom of the Emperor symbol, is also found at the bottom of the Emperor symbol. In the West, the fleur-de-lis is associated with royalty and leadership. In Tibet, some Eastern cultures, the same symbol is often referred to as the 3-pronged flame, representing the union of mind, heart, and spirit. The crescent moons interfacing with the earth on the Emperor symbol illustrates the magnetic pull of the feminine nature and its necessity to offer love with wisdom. Just as the earth is pulled toward the moon magnetically, so are we pulled to people and situations that offer love and wisdom. And there you go. Now, do you see how easy and simple that is? And all of them are like that. They take apart all the symbols that you see, because at first you look at these cards and you're like, what the fudge? And then you get this book and you try to read it and you're even more like, what the fudge? But then you get this book and you're like, oh my God, it makes sense. And like I said, it also takes some of the darkness out of it. Now, for those of you who are like really into Thoth and want to do the Tree of Life and want to keep the darkness in it, this is probably not for you, but I found this great for me. Also, in the back of the book, quickly, there's like a whole bunch of information to find your personality symbol, your soul spiritual symbol, your growth symbol for the current year, and then information on what cards relate to you, what is like your mission here. I found this very, very interesting and a whole lot of fun to do. So, again, there you go. You can read the Thoth deck, and I totally recommend this book. Okay, guys? You can find it on Amazon, probably a used copy, really cheap. I think I got mine for like under $6. So, love and light. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.